Okay, we're going to begin today's class in a seated position. Find any comfortable seated position, taking your hands over your knees, flattening out your hips, straightening your spine, just relaxing your shoulders. Take a few breaths here, noticing the mind and body focusing and relaxing as we prepare for today's practice. Noticing the small changes, the subtle changes that happen within your body in conjunction with your breath. Extension through the spine on your inhale, a release through the shoulders and hips with your exhale. Setting your intention to remain focused and determined through the asana we'll practice today. Beginning by rotating the head and neck a few times here. Moving slow, trying to connect your breath with this rotation, so you're breathing in as you move halfway up the circle and breathing out as you move back down through the other half of the circle. One more round of breath and then starting to move in the opposite direction. This time, keeping your breath in conjunction with that circle in the opposite direction. Your inhale coming up one half of the circle, your exhale moving down the other side. And then bringing your head to center and just rolling your shoulders back 3 times with one breath per cycle. And then we're going to roll the shoulders forward, again using your breath to dictate this movement. Gently now taking your right foot and just placing it on the floor just in front of the left. And then we'll walk the hands across the floor or across your mat as you move the upper body forward and down to extend the spine. And then we'll walk both hands over to your left, placing your right hand on top of the left and just letting the upper body sink down to open up through the right hand side of the body here. Just a couple of breaths as we slowly open up through the latissimus muscles and shoulder. Bringing yourself back now to the center, walking your hands back up to an upright position and just swap your legs over, so the left foot now just slightly in front of the right on the floor. Walking your hands, drawing the upper body forward and down. And we'll then walk the hands over to the left hand side, left hand just placed on top of your right hand, letting yourself sink down here again. We'll take a few cycles of breath just to lightly wake up the left hand side of the body. In particular, feeling it through the shoulder and the latissimus muscles, which are the muscles running up the side of your torso, but also in the back, in the hip, probably in the neck as well, and all the way through that left arm as we release down with each breath. And then returning to the center, slowly walking ourselves back to an upright position, crossing the legs in any comfortable way, and extending both arms out, shoulder height, fingers spread wide. We'll breathe in to raise the head up, taking the palms to face the sky. Breathing out, taking the head down and turning the arms at the shoulders as far as they'll go. Breathing in to take your head and palms up. Breathing out, rotating the arms as far as they'll go in the opposite direction. Breathing in, bringing the head up, both palms up. And breathing out, tucking the chin as we rotate the arms. Once more now, breathing in, this time bringing the hands above the head, extending through the upper body and rotating towards your right. We'll take the left hand over onto your right knee, and then lowering the left shoulder down towards your left knee. Tilting through the upper body to make this happen, extending through the right arm, and then maybe opening up a little bit more, a little bit further and wider, by just scraping that hand across the sky. Look up at the right arm, spread the fingers, extend that arm as far as it'll go, and feel again the latissimus muscles, the armpit, the shoulder on the right side of your body opening up. Returning to an upright position, both arms high, rotating all the way to the left, taking your right hand now onto your left knee, looking up at the left hand and then dropping down to your right, the right shoulder moving towards the right knee, looking up at that left hand, and again using your exhale to maybe just open up a little bit more, scraping the left hand across the sky, sinking down low towards the right as the left side of the body opens up. Taking that body upright now, reaching both hands above the head and coming to the center. Both hands down to the floor behind the body. Fingertips point towards you, palms nice and flat. We'll pull the shoulders back, lift the chest up, look up, and then raise the hips as well with your inhale, lowering with the exhale. Inhaling to raise the hips and chest, exhaling to lower back down. One more time, coming up with your inhale, lowering down with the exhale. Let's release both those hands, coming to an upright position, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the neck, and then releasing the right leg out straight in front of the body, slightly to the side. We'll bring the left foot to the inside of your right thigh and your hips to about a 90-degree angle. Pointing the right toes here, we'll bring in both hands back just behind the hips again, palms flat, lifting the chest, lifting the head, lifting the hips with your inhale, down with the exhale. Coming up with the inhale, and down with the exhale. Again, raising up high with your inhale, down with your exhale. Sitting tall, releasing the shoulders, and then we'll move that right foot around, bending the knee to bring your foot as close as you can to your right hip. The hands come behind the body again. We'll pull the shoulders back, raise the chest, and then raise the hips with your inhale, lowering down with the exhale. Raising your hips with the inhale, lowering down with the exhale. Raising your hips with your inhale, lowering down with your exhale, releasing the shoulders, sitting upright. Let's release that right leg out to the side, and then the left leg as well here now. Just straighten out through the spine for a moment, and then tuck the right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Again, 90 degrees to the hips, pointing the left toes, hands behind the body, pull the shoulders back, lift the chest and the hips with your inhale. Lowering with your exhale. Raising up with your inhale, back down with your exhale. Coming up with your inhale, back down with the exhale. Release the hands, bend the left knee to bring your left foot as close as you can to your left hip. Both hands behind the back. Lift your chest up nice and high, raise the hips with your inhale, look up. Breathing out, lowering down. Breathing in to raise up. Breathing out, back down. Breathing in, coming up, and breathing out, back down. Okay, release the hands, sit tall, release that left leg out in front of you. Release the right leg out, still 90 degrees through the hips. Taking both hands just behind the body, pointing both sets of toes, pulling the shoulders back, raise the chest, breathe in to raise the hips up into the air. Breathing out, back down. Breathing in, coming up, engaging both legs to make this happen. Breathing out, back down. Breathing in, let's raise up, look up. Breathing out, back down. Okay, sitting tall. And again, let's just tuck the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Still 90 degrees through the hips, this time turning the upper body slightly to your right. Breathing in to raise both arms above the head. Breathing out will fold the upper body forward over that right leg. Grab hold of whatever's available to you. It might be a foot, maybe it's the toes or the ankle, maybe it's your heel, maybe it's your shin, maybe it's your knee. Whatever works for you. We're going to try and extend through the upper body, extend through the spine, particularly on your inhale. With your exhale, you're lowering down further and closer towards your thigh, towards your knee. Deep breaths allow this asana to wake up the back of your right leg slowly. Don't hurt yourself too much. Ease up if you're in a great deal of pain here. When you're ready, we're going to take the right hand straight out in front of the body and just moving your left hand grip to either the outside of your ankle or perhaps even your foot if you can reach. We'll sweep the right arm straight back behind you now. We're twisting through the spine as we engage with this forward fold still to open up the leg. Pulling the right shoulder back, looking back at your right fingers. Opening out through the chest and shoulders. It's quite an intense asana here, so go to where you feel comfortable. With your next inhale, we're going to sweep the arm back round to the foot, taking hold with both hands again, extending through your spine, dropping the head with that deep exhale. From here, breathe in, raising the arms up nice and high. Palms together in front of the chest on the exhale. Turning your upper body to the center, releasing your left leg out to the side, 90 degrees through the hips, taking both hands behind the back, palms to the floor, raise the chest, breathe in to lift the hips here, point the toes. And breathe out, back down, releasing the hands, tucking the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, sitting tall and rotating your upper body slightly to the left. Breathing in, we'll sweep both arms up nice and high above the head, extend the spine. Breathing out, folding over the right leg to grab hold of whatever is available to you. Use your inhale to extend through your spine, your exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Keeping the legs straight here, but not locked. Not hyperextended through the knee. We're being gentle and easy with our bodies here. Allowing this asana to progress slowly as the chest and head move towards the thigh and knee in Janu Sirsasana. When you feel ready, we're going to take the gaze forward and the left hand out at shoulder height straight in front of you. The right hand moving to the outside of that left foot or perhaps the ankle. Using your inhale to sweep that left arm straight back behind you, extending through the arm as much as possible. Pulling the shoulder back as far as it will go, trying to look back at your left hand. Feeling that length through the back of the left leg, the outside of the left hip, as well as the twist through the chest, stomach, and spine. Making sure your head's a part of this twist as we return to that foot, lifting the head up, on the inhale, exhaling to move your head towards your knee. Ustrasana means head towards the knee pose. That's where we're moving to. Breathing in to extend the arms above the head. Breathing out, palms together in front of the chest, returning the upper body to the center. Releasing the right leg out to the side, 90 degrees through the hips. Hands flat to the floor behind you, pulling the shoulders back, looking up, pointing all your toes and engaging to lift the hips on your inhale. Exhaling to lower back down. Inhale to come up with the hips. Exhale back down. Inhale one last time, coming all the way up. Exhaling back down. Okay, releasing the hands. Sitting tall. We'll bring the soles of the feet together now, moving towards Trikonasana, our butterfly pose. Pull your heels as close as you can to your groin, towards your hips, and then push your knees to either side. For now, we're just going to rock side to side in the hips, starting to wake them up in a preparatory asana. Holding the toes, holding the soles of the feet together, and then shifting side to side using just your upper body, the hips remaining static as you push pressure into one and then the other. Again now, pushing the knees to either side, straight through the spine. Breathe in to lift your head. Breathe out to move forwards and down into this fold. Using your inhale, as always, to extend through the spine. Your exhale to sink down a little bit lower. This asana is one that comes with patience. From the position you're in, it's quite difficult to demand or force any kind of progress that your body isn't ready for. You need to trust that your body will open up at its own pace, incrementally allowing the weight of your head and shoulders and chest to pull your upper body towards the floor, and in doing so, very slowly rotating open through the hips, the groin, the lower back waking up as well. Doing your best to just enjoy each long breath here and that satisfying, delicious sensation within the Muladhara area of your body, your root, the base of your intention and sensation. Just a couple more breaths here. Feeling strong and returning slowly to an upright position when you're ready. Slowly pulling the knees together, taking your feet nice and flat, and just sitting for a moment here, feeling steady, feeling stable. We're going to interlock the fingers now, palms together, index fingers pointing upwards as we breathe in to extend both arms above the head. Keep pulling your knees towards one another. Keep your soles nice and flat. Notice how the body engages, how the body works just to maintain this position. How a simple movement through the arms, a slight change in position, has caused the entire body to suddenly switch on, to start working as one holistic organism in order to maintain stability in this asana. Each inhale giving you strength, each exhale relieving tension. And then taking both hands over the knees, take a moment to just round and arch the spine, and then cross your feet over, rolling forward, coming to your hands and knees. Moving now to Virabhadrasana, your cat position, or tabletop as you may know it. Palms flat, knees below hips. We'll breathe in to lift your head straight up, the back of the hips coming up as well as an arch through the spine. Breathing out, tucking your chin, tucking the pelvis. Breathing in, arching the spine back, lift the head up, pull the shoulders back. Breathing out, tuck your chin and pelvis, curve through the spine the opposite way. Breathing in, top of your head, back of your hips coming straight up. Breathing out, the point between your shoulder blades raising higher. Breathing into a neutral position here. Tucking your toes in now. We're going to float the knees above the floor for maybe just 1 or 2 breaths. And then raise the hips up high, straightening the legs and drifting back as you push the heels down into Virabhadrasana. Maybe try walking your feet in place a few times here just to eke out a little bit more of the tension from the backs of your calves, your hamstrings, your ankles. And then when you're ready, when you feel comfortable, you'll allow both heels to yearn for the floor as both hips yearn for the ceiling. The shoulders and neck relax. The arms are straight. The back is straight. With your next exhale, drop the knees towards the floor and the stomach towards your thighs. Breathing in, rocking the body weight forward to a high plank. Breathing out, back to Virabhadrasana. Again, with your next exhale, we're going to bend the knees, trying to press your stomach onto your thighs. Breathing in, pushing through to your high plank. Breathing out to Virabhadrasana again. One more time now. Try and keep the knees from touching the floor as we bend deep and then breathe in to rock the body forward to Santolasana. This time exhaling to Chaturanga, lowering the body towards the floor. Flip the feet. Arch the spine with your inhale, Bhujangasana, your cobra pose. Breathing out, coming to Virabhadrasana, mountain. With your next breath in, we're going to take a big step forward with the right foot. If you can, place it between your hands. Maybe wriggle it forward if you need to. When you're ready, we're going to drop the hips low. We're going to rotate the left heel down to the floor. Straight through the back leg, and then straightening the front leg as well as we bring the upper body upright. Hands to your hips to begin with here. Maybe step that left foot forward a little bit. Pull the right hip back. Breathing in to extend the spine. Relaxing the shoulders. And with your breath out, fold your body forward, hinging the hips to about a 90-degree angle. A little bit of weight coming into that right leg to create extension through the back of it. Breathing in, back to our beginning place. This time taking both hands behind the back, interlock the fingers, roll the shoulders towards one another. Breathe in, lifting the head. Breathing out, folding the body as far forward and down as it will go this time. Rolling the shoulders to bring the hands away from the hips, dropping your head towards your knee. Long, deep breaths. Feel that stretch through the right leg. Try and keep that right leg straight, but don't lock the knee. Not too much undue pressure there. Lifting the head back to neutral with your inhale. This time we're taking both arms up above the head with your inhale. Exhale to fold forward, pausing at 90 degrees. Inhale to extend the spine and arms, and then exhale to come down as low as you can into this Trikonasana, triangle pose. We're going to do a couple of different variations of triangle pose today. So this is our foundation here. Strong through the right leg and through the left as the right hand comes to your hip. The left hand's going to come to the outside of that right leg. Roll your right shoulder back. Try and look up at the ceiling. Don't worry if you falter or wobble. That's fine. Extending the right arm up into the air as well now. Finding this twist through the upper body, through the spine, through the chest, through the neck, as well as that long, deep, intense stretch through the right leg, through the calf, the hamstring, the knee, and also the outside of the hip. Twisting triangle. We'll pinwheel the arms back to an upright position, pulling the left hip back now this time. Arms are shoulder height and extending to either side. Looking out over the right hand, we'll take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly bend the right knee. Virabhadrasana, second variation. We're coming to first in this particular sequence. Staying strong in both legs, dropping the hips down low and tucking them underneath you. Engage through your stomach muscles. Long and strong through both arms, shooting out in either direction. Relaxing through the neck, straight through the spine. Maybe drop a little bit lower into that right knee. Staying strong, staying engaged, staying encouraged here. And then bringing your right hand just to your heart center. We're going to tilt the upper body towards the right to bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee. Reaching that left arm up high and feeling rotation through the hips now in this new variation of Trikonasana, this new variation of triangle, a bent-legged variation that acts as a hip opener. Reaching that right hand straight down to the floor, the left hand coming to meet it, right hand to the outside of your right foot. We're going to rotate that left heel back up into the air, staying strong and deep in the bend in your right knee. And from here we're going to drop that left knee down to the floor, and then bring the upper body upright, palms together in front of the chest. Lower the wrists, raise the elbows to create a straight line between your forearms. Take a nice deep breath in here to extend through your spine, and then rotate with your exhale and place your left elbow onto your right knee. Turning your head to look back over that right shoulder, pushing down with the right hand against your left to create a little bit more tension in the twist. Try, if you can, to raise up off of that left knee. Don't worry if that's a challenge, but if you can, let's try it. To go even further into this twist, we can reach the left hand towards the floor and extend the right arm straight up into the air. Maybe, just maybe, you can even reach that left hand under your thigh, taking the right hand behind your back to bind the two together in this very deep twisting variation of Trikonasana. Whichever version you have come to, we're going to slowly work our way back to our starting point. Keeping that left knee elevated if you can, we're going to extend both arms straight up into the air. Our exalted base, first variation of Virabhadrasana, warrior pose. Find strength and determination here as you breathe in to extend the arms, and breathe out to take those hands down to the floor. When you're ready, we will sweep the right leg straight up into the air behind us, finding a three-legged downward facing dog here. If you want to, you can shake out that right leg and then extend the leg up higher, opening the hips out as we twist slightly. Maybe pointing the right toes towards the floor, maybe even continuing that movement straight out into the twisting variation of Chakrasana. You may know this one as Wild Thing. It's a challenge, so only go there if you're feeling comfortable. Hitting the rewind button to just return back to that three-legged Virabhadrasana, extending that right leg with your inhale, exhaling to bring the knee to chest, and then extending the leg straight back behind, lowering down to Chaturanga, breathing in to raise the head up, breathing out, finding Virabhadrasana. We're going to take a few cycles of breath here now, just to process that sequence, feeling it deeply in our right hip, and then coming forward to our Chaturanga, lowering down, breathing in, and breathing out to return to Virabhadrasana. Again, finding high plank, lowering down, flipping the feet and raising the head, and then finding Virabhadrasana. One more time, coming forward, lowering down, arching the spine, and then finding Virabhadrasana, hips high, heels low. When you're ready, we'll take the left foot forward. Same sequence, other side. Nice and strong in that left thigh. Rotating the right heel down to the floor for a straight leg on the left side. Raising the upper body upright here, preparing for these triangle variations. Pulling the left hip back, breathing in to extend your spine, breathing out to fold forward here, just to about hip level with the shoulders and head if you can. Breathing in to come back. Taking both hands now, interlocking the fingers behind the back, extend the arms, roll the shoulders, raise the head, using your exhale to fold forward again. Pulling those hands away from the hip, dropping your head towards your knee which is not locked, just ever such a tiny little bend in it maybe, to prevent any hyperextension to happen. Feeling the pressure created with the weight of your upper body, and then relieving that pressure by coming back up. Breathing in to raise both arms up nice and high, breathing out to reach forward, pausing at your halfway point here, extending with the inhale, exhaling to lower down deep into this nice, satisfying stretch through the left leg, through the spine. When you feel ready, we're going to take that right hand to the outside of the left foot, taking the left hand first to your hip, before trying to look up at the ceiling and extending that left arm up nice and high as well. Find your balance here. It's an intense and advanced asana. There's an awful lot going on in your body here, with twisting in two different directions, as well as that huge amount of extension, stretch, and pressure put through the back of that left leg. Find your balance, find your center, and then pinwheel both arms back up to an upright position, shoulder height, with both hands extending both of those arms, even through the hips, as we bend slowly into that left knee, looking out over the left hand. Feeling the determination, the strength of that warrior incarnation of Lord Shiva here in Virabhadrasana. Rotating through both hips in opposite directions. Strong through every part of your body, focused in your vision and in your mind. Taking the left hand to the heart center, and then tilting the upper body towards your left till you can place your left elbow on the inside of that left knee, reaching the right hand straight up into the air, trying to look up at that hand if you can. Feeling that opening out through the left hip, extending just a little bit more here in this triangle variation. Lowering that left hip down. And then looking down and taking the left hand to the floor. The right hand comes down to meet it. We're going to take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, rotating the right heel into the air, lowering the right knee. To prepare for the next twist, bringing your upper body upright, palms together in front of the chest. A straight line runs between your elbows, creating pressure between the hands. Rotating towards your left now to take the right elbow to your left knee, turning back to look over your left shoulder, pressing down with the left hand to create a little bit more twist in the hip and in the spine. If you can, maybe we're going to now raise up off of that left knee, energizing both legs here to make it happen. If you want to take it further, then we can take the right hand down towards the floor. The left hand can reach straight up into the air. You have the option of falling over here, finding your balance, finding your strength, finding your confidence as you interlock the hands behind the back to create that bind around the hip. Whichever variation you're doing here, work with your own body's sense of balance, returning with control to our starting point. And then without dropping that right knee, we're going to sweep both arms above the head, finding here Virabhadrasana again. Our exalted base, our strength, our power in both legs. Reaching up with both arms and then sweeping them down to the floor and sweeping that left leg straight up into the air for this one-legged variation of Virabhadrasana. Shake that leg out if you feel you need to. When you're ready, extend it up as high as it will go and start to twist the hips open here. Point the toes and then try and point the toes towards the floor, maybe following in that direction to create this side-on variation, this twisting Chakrasana. Returning back to that Virabhadrasana and then sweeping the left knee towards your chest before shooting it straight back to one-legged plank. Lowering down, flipping the feet, arching your spine, head up. Breathing out, head down, hips up. Breathing in, coming forward. Breathing out, lowering down. Breathing in, arching the spine. And breathing out, returning to Virabhadrasana. Lowering the knees now to the floor, tops of your feet to the floor. Lower your hips, your head, your chest, your shoulders, everything down towards the floor. Taking this opportunity now for a short rest. Maybe taking the hands just behind the body, palms facing up. That'll relieve some of the pressure on your shoulders, help to loosen up the lower back and hips a little bit more. This is your time here in Shankasana. Make it work for you. Choose any variation that you want. It's now a great time to grab some water. Even pop this video on pause and just take a breather if you feel like you need to. Listen to your body before you listen to me. You know what's going on a lot more than I do when it comes to your body. When you're ready, coming to an upright kneeling position here, Vajrasana, Hero's Pose. Hands to the hips, and then engaging the thighs to bring your hips just above the knees. We're going to move through Ustrasana now, Camel Pose. When you're ready, we'll take the right hand straight out in front of the body, shoulder height. You can make a Jnana Mudra here if you want to. Gazing at the fingertips as we breathe in to raise that arm above the head. Breathe out to tilt the spine back, to extend that arm back as well. Find a position that is comfortable for you here. Make sure you can breathe comfortably. Ease up a little bit if you feel like you need to. It's up to you to find what's safe and to find what is valuable. Returning now slowly with your inhale, exhaling to lower those hips back down over the ankles. Again, raising the hips above the knees, relax your shoulders. Taking your left hand this time to shoulder height, Jnana Mudra is optional. Gazing at the fingertips as we breathe in to sweep that arm up high. Breathing out to tilt the upper body backwards here now. Control how far back your neck is going, opening the throat but making sure you can breathe comfortably. Try and keep the shoulders even if possible. Arching back only as much as feels comfortable for you. Breathing in when you're ready to come back up, and breathing out, hands to hips, lowering down. One more time now, we're breathing in to raise the hips back up over the knees. preparing for Purna Ustrasana, full camel pose. Both hands this time out in front of the body. Jnana Mudra is optional. Breathing in to sweep them above the head. Breathing out to reach the arms, the shoulders, the head, the whole of your upper body, reaching back behind you now, arching the spine as much as is available. Keep pushing the hips forward to keep them squared above your knees. Again, as always, making sure you can breathe comfortably, easing up in your own time, returning to the center, and then lowering the hips over your ankles, this time folding the body forward gently towards the floor, placing your forehead to the floor if you can. We're moving next to an inversion, which you should always be careful of doing if you have headaches, neck injuries, if you're menstruating. We're going to grab hold of the ankles and then rolling onto the top of the head against the floor, raising the hips upwards. By keeping a firm grip on the ankles, we're helping to engage the shoulders. Feel that stretching out through the point between your shoulder blades. Some weight moving into the top of your head to encourage blood flow into the neck and head. If you want to now, taking the palms flat to the floor just underneath your shoulders. Again, rolling onto the top of the head, tucking your toes, and then straightening out the legs to lift the hips up higher. Maybe just inch those feet a little bit closer to your body till you can stack your hips directly above the head. Go easy with this one. Make sure you've got balance and strength in the neck. Enjoying this nice easy variation on a headstand, perhaps even raising that right leg up into the air for a moment and then lowering it back down. Raising the left leg up into the air just for a moment and then lowering it back down. Dropping the knees, tops of your feet to the floor, the whole body lowering down. Stack your fists one on top of the other and rest your head on top of the fists. We're keeping the head slightly elevated during this variation of Shashankasana here. Nice and easy, letting some of that blood run back out of the head and neck. Take a break here if you're feeling woozy, if you've got a headache. Make sure you grab water if you need it. Gently coming back to Vajrasana and then releasing your legs one by one and just shimmy yourself up your mat a little bit. Make sure you got some space behind you. Relax both shoulders, taking your hands out in front of the body, keeping your legs nice and flat. With your exhale, just lean back to about a 60-degree angle and then breathe in, coming back up. Breathing out, lowering to about 90 degrees. And then breathing in, coming back. Keep your legs flat against the floor as you lean back as close as you can without taking the body to the floor. And then everything relaxing. Nice and easy, nice and gentle to the floor. Taking both feet now flat to the floor. And both arms straight out to either side. Allow the hips to just tick-tock side to side, gently rolling them against the floor. Bring a little bit of TLC here now to the hips, which have worked very, very, very hard today. When you're ready, let both hips flop over to the right hand side and then take your right foot, place it on top of the left knee. Turn your head to the left. We're going to allow the body to just rest here for a moment in this simple twist. This nice, easy, gentle twist through the spine and a little bit of a stretch happening through the front of the left hip, the outside of the right hip. weight of your right foot against your left knee, doing all of the work here. Completely passive in your physical body. Staying focused for now with the mind. Breathing deeply, slowly, evenly in this twist. Keeping your feet in the same position as you rock up to the center and then rock all the way over to the other side. That right foot is still placed on the left knee. Turning your head to the right, maybe you want to grab hold of your right knee here with your left hand, it's up to you. Stay not quite the exact obverse of the previous asana, but a twist in the opposite direction. Feeling the lower back, the right hip maybe getting a little bit more attention here. Again, the chest, shoulders and neck all opening out gently. And again, breathing deeply and slowly. Return to the center. Let's keep that right foot on the left knee. Just gently push your right knee away from you to open out the hip. And then float the left foot off the floor. We're going to reach between the legs with the right hand, around the outside with the left, to grab hold of either the knee or the thigh of your left leg. Gently pull that leg towards you. Feel how that rotates open and engages the right hip. Lifting your head up off of the floor to pull it towards your knee. Bringing yourself in tightly here and releasing. Taking that left foot back to the floor, the right leg straight up into the air. With control in your own time, lowering that leg all the way down to the floor. And then gently bring the sole of the foot flat to the floor next to your left. Again, rocking your knees side to side here. Tick-tocking them just a little at first and then getting wider and wider until eventually all the way down on your left side. This time placing the left foot on top of the right knee to create just enough of a pull down, just enough tension to rotate open through that right hip to wake up the inside of the right hip, the front of the right hip. The head turns to the right. And we relax deeply here. Completely passive through this sequence. Gently finding a comfortable place for the body to open out in its own time. Each breath releasing and then returning to the center. Keep your legs in the same position and then rotate them over towards the right. If you want to place that right hand onto your left knee, you can. Turn your head towards the left. Again, let's enjoy this passive twist. Each exhale, eking out just one more iota of tension. Slowly, gently with yourself at this stage of your practice. Being compassionate to your body, forgiving to your body. Slowly, gently rolling yourself back to the center, that left foot still on the right knee. pushing the left knee away from you to rotate open through the hip gently. And then we're going to float the right foot, reach between the legs with your left hand, around the outside with the right, to grab hold of either the knee or the thigh of that right leg, and then gently pull it towards you. Feel how that works with the left hip, the left thigh. Enjoy that sensation. Lifting your head up and pulling your whole body together, pulling it in tight and small like a seed. Squeeze that hip, wring out the tension, and then release. Taking that right foot to the floor, both arms out to the side, left leg straight up into the air, slowly lowering at your own pace as we take that foot down to the floor. Bringing that left foot nice and flat next to the right, and this time letting both knees drift open to either side. Supta Titaliasana, your sleeping butterfly, a variation on the asana we did at the start of the practice. Take your hands behind your head. Make a little cushion for the back of your head here, and notice how that adjustment of your arms elongates the whole torso, creates a little bit of a baby back bend, tilts the pelvis forward, and helps again with this very, very passive asana. This last little bit of work we're doing with the inside of our hips today. Enjoying every last bit of sensation, of energy you're drawing in through your Muladhara. Of every bit of negative energy being wrung out, purified by the sensation in your hips. Finally now, extending both of those legs out onto the mat in front of you, your arms at your sides. Find a position that is comfortable, that we can call Savasana. This resting position here, as you give your mind and body space and time to process all of the sensory information it's been faced with, all of the physical activity, the mental activity, emotional activity. Gently unclenching through your mental body. Aware of but unattached to the warmth, the energy flowing through you, generated by you. That power that you have access to, that you create with your practice and direct properly in any way you see fit. Very slowly waking yourself up now. Pulling your knees in nice and tight to your chest. Rocking your body side to side. rocking forwards and backwards. If you're able to, rock yourself all the way back up to a seated position. Same way we started the class, any comfortable seated position. Flat through the hips, relax through the shoulders. Taking a long deep breath in here. And as you breathe out one last time, surrendering your head towards the earth. Slowly with your inhale, rolling yourself up one vertebra at a time. Relaxing your shoulders, palms together in front of the chest. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.